Voy a apagar el abanico. No importa que no se seque ahorita.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Fine, thank you.
Good. All right. Let's see. Let me just make sure everybody logs in. All right. Okay, so almost everybody's here. Okay. So right now, what we're going to do, like I said in the WhatsApp group, we're going to be for 30 minutes until 10:30, more or less. Checking whatever questions you have. I'm actually going to check the presentations before the quiz. The quiz is really only going to be about vocabulary and grammar. So it's exactly what we have practiced. It's nothing different. But let me just. I'm going to log to this website.
¿Llegó la pasta que sí? Ya.
All right, can everybody see this Google site, the website? It says level 3, yes?
Yes.
All right, okay. So what we're going to check, I'm going to focus only on this part, vocabulary and grammar. And I'm actually going to check these things as well. Vocabulary. See. So for vocabulary, remember that we only really saw professions. I want you to tell me if you have questions with the professions. Remember what were the professions we practiced?
Pilot.
Okay, pilot, what else?
Writer,
Okay.
astronaut,
Science.
teacher,
Lawyer.
scientist,
Doctor.
Okay.
Nurse.
Exactly. So in this case, let's just review quickly the professions. This one, what's the profession for this?
pilot,
Pilot.
Okay, so this is the pilot. This
Writer.
one?
Writer.
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 This one?
nurse,
Nurse. No.
Nurse, exactly. What about this?
astronaut,
This one?
Doctor.
Doctor.
This one?
Lawyer.
lawyer,
Mhm. This one?
Program computer.
Computer programmer.
Okay. What about this one?
Science.
Scientist.
Scientist. All right. So these are the principal or the main professions that we actually practice. The ones that are important for the quiz. Now, remember that the professions have a specific activities or specific actions. So in this case, the doctors, what do the doctors do?
Treat people who are ill.
Exactly. So remember, doctors treat people who are ill. What about the nurses? What do they do?
Care.
They care.
People who are ill.
Exactly. Okay. So doctors, they treat.
Treat.
Nurses, they care.
They care.
Okay. What about pilots? What do they do?
The
Fly
planes.
Travel in space.
Okay. So let's see. In this case, a pilot, is it the same as an astronaut or are they different?
They different.
And
They're different. A pilot is more for a plane. It's like if I'm here in Monterrey, I go to the airport and then the pilot flies the plane that takes me to Los Cabos, for example. Okay? What is the difference between the pilot and the astronaut? What do the astronauts do?
Travel to the space.
travel in space.
Travel in the space. Okay? So a pilot, they fly planes, but the astronauts, they travel in space. Okay? A computer programmer, what do they do?
Design
Time
software.
Exactly. So that's really like the main focus. A computer programmer designs software. Okay? Nurses. So remember we talked about the doctor. What about nurses?
are for people
Care
who are
for
ill.
people who are ill.
Care for people.
Exactly. Okay. So a nurse or nurse. What? No. Okay. So nurses, they care. Doctors, they treat. Okay.
Yes.
Lawyers. What about lawyers? What do they do?
Advise
people.
Exactly. Okay. So lawyers, what they do is that they advise people. Okay. So if you have a problem, a legal problem, of course, they can give you an advice. Okay. So, all right. And we said pilots fly planes, astronauts.
Travel in
Travel in
space.
space.
Travel
in space.
Okay.
space.
So travel in space.
Space.
What about writers? What do they do?
Right.
Novels.
Novels.
Exactly. So writers, they write novels. Scientists.
Research.
So scientists, research. Research is the same as, and I'm gonna put it in the chat anyways. Is the same as investigate. So research, this word is the same as investigate. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And well, in this case, these questions are just extra. They were for you. With professions and activities, do you have questions?
No.
Questions.
They are very simple. I mean, it's really nothing out of the ordinary.
Teacher,
Yes.
in the exam, ask for us what is nuestra profesión.
No.
Okay.
No, you're not open questions.
Okay.
Now, I do want to show you in the PowerPoint presentation, just for you to remember this. Hold on. All right, let me open the PowerPoint and I need you to tell me if you can see it. Okay, can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to another. Did I open? Oh, I opened another one. Oh, hold on. I opened one that is for advanced level and that's difficult. All right, let me just make sure that the PowerPoint opens because I opened one for advanced level and that's gonna make it difficult for you.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Well, while this thing opens, I'm going to better show you the grammar section, because I do want to check that before the quiz. Okay, no, this thing is not opening. All right, now let me go to this website and let's go to the grammar section better. Okay, can you see the Google site where it says grammar?
Yes.
All right, so in here, this is important. First, we need to identify and remember the grammar parts that we practice during this level 3. Did we practice present, past, or future?
Past.
Okay, so we only practice past. In here, these are the sections that we practice, and and we also saw, if you remember, could, couldn't, had, and didn't have for possession. Okay.
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 Now, the verb to be. I'm gonna focus on this one first. The verb to be. Do you remember what are the 2 forms of the verb to be in past?
Was and were.
Was and where.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Verb to be.
So the verb to be, in this case, I only have was and where. Was,
Okay.
and I'm going to, do you see this question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For was, what are the subjects that I use?
He, she,
He,
it,
she,
He, it.
and I.
Okay. So if it says Pedro, it's a he, was or where?
Was.
Okay.
was.
If it says the dog or the cat, was or where?
Was.
Was.
In this case, for where? What are the people that I use for where?
They, you, we,
we.
Okay. So they, you, we, and I can also select you if it's for more people. Okay.
they.
This one, singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural.
All right. Good. Now, in this case, let's, I guess we can review this really quick, all of us together. Right now, I'm only going to focus on the affirmative aspect, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So if it's my sister, what do I put?
Was.
Was.
If it's my friends,
Where.
Where.
my grandparents,
Where.
Where.
I,
Was.
Was.
mhm, my brother and my sister,
Where.
okay? All right, so you identify when it's was and when it's where, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have questions with that?
No.
Okay. Now, what is the form of was and where and in negative?
Wasn't. And weren't.
Okay, so for was is wasn't and for where is weren't, correct?
Correct.
Okay. The same, let's just identify. If it's my parents, what is it, wasn't or weren't?
Weren't. Weren't.
If it says Jason,
Wasn't.
if it says Mary and Amy,
Weren't.
weren't. If it says I,
Weren't.
Wasn't.
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 I is for singular still, so it wasn't. Okay. And okay, so this is the question. Okay, this no, sorry, interrogative. This is important. When it's a question, can I say, for example, weren't Eric and Peter students in level 2, or were Eric and Peter students in level 2?
Where?
Where? So remember that in the question is only in affirmative, okay? You don't ask with negative questions. Okay. So in this case, this one is where, because it's plural. And this one is was. Edna, a teacher in RC.
Was.
Was.
Jacob and I.
Where?
Were.
Where?
Okay, it's plural. They.
Were.
Writers.
Where?
Were.
Mhm. Okay. With the verb to be, do you have questions?
No.
Okay. So in this case, for the verb to be, it's really, this is the important thing. You need to remember that was, it's for them, where, it's for them, and identify if it's plural, if it's singular, if it's affirmative or negative, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, we're gonna check this one in a moment, but I want you to see this. Can you see the notepad, the bloc de notas?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to put an example and I want you to tell me, hold on. Okay, this one.
Was. Yeah, was.
Okay, but
Wasn't.
exactly, okay?
Was.
Is it, I want you to tell me first, this, is it affirmative or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
Negative, okay?
Negative.
So if if in the quiz, for example, similar to the activities in the book, you see some parentheses like this, and it says not, then it has to be negative, okay? So
Okay.
the correct sentence would be Mario wasn't happy, like you said, okay?
Yes.
Right.
Was not.
Yeah, you can also say Mario was not happy. Okay. All right, now.
¿Es correcto de las dos formas, Miss?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
It's correct both ways.
Okay.
Okay, this one is important. Well, I mean, all of them are important, but this one is a little bit different than the others. So we have simple past, regular verbs, affirmative, negative, and interrogative. But let me put my information because then it's not gonna let me. Okay, I'm just gonna put that. All right, I'm going to start right now with the affirmative section, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that in simple past, for regular verbs, we have to change the verb.
Okay.
Okay, so in this case, if my verb is, for example, can you see the bloc de notas?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, work. The verb is in simple form, or is it in past?
Okay.
Okay, what is the past of work?
Worked.
Okay, so it's work. What about watch? What is it in
Watch
simple
it.
form?
Watch it. Watched.
Watched. Okay.
Watched.
So if I put, for example, I watched TV last night. Is it affirmative or negative?
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Okay. Tell me what is the negative version of this sentence.
I didn't
I
watch it
didn't.
last night.
I
I
didn't.
didn't watch TV last night.
Now,
Uh,
is that correct? Yes or no?
not correct.
No.
What is the
Watch
correct?
is watch.
Watch.
Watch, right?
ED.
Okay. So it's like that. Affirmative, I watched TV last night. Negative, I didn't watch TV last night. Right? What if I want to make a question about that? Do you remember how to make a question?
What?
Did you watch TV last night?
Mhm.
Did you,
Yes, remember?
did you watch?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Do you have questions with this? No?
No.
No.
All right, let's go quickly on this part so I can, because it's almost time to finish the first session. In here, so I have Jackie and I watching, watches, or watched.
Watch it. Watch it. It's the same, no? Watch.
In this case, remember, we're talking about simple past. So watching, watches, or watched.
Watch.
Okay, this one.
What is the answer?
Watched. The
Okay.
what? The ed, because it's past. Number 2 says what? All right. So number 2 says Edna and I studied English yesterday. What is the correct form in affirmative? Remember.
I can see Edna.
Study.
Miss,
What?
I can see the presentation. I see. Yeah, ahí va.
Hold on. Okay, can everybody see this? The questions?
No. Yes.
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 Okay, so we are in number 2. Remember that we have changed the verb in the parentheses,
Mhm.
and it's simple past. So Edna and I studied, studies, or studying.
Studies.
Studies.
1, 2, or 3?
One.
1.
Two.
Remember, it's simple past. It's a studied. It's past.
Studied.
It's not simple present.
Okay.
Number 3. Armando practiced soccer last night. Armando practiced. Practicing or practice?
Practice.
Number 1?
La one.
All right. My mother, the clothes yesterday. Washing, washed, or washes?
Watch.
1, 2, or 3?
Watch it.
Two.
Check.
2. And number 5. Anna and Christian played. Or plays?
The first.
Playing.
Played.
One.
1. All right.
One.
So in this case, this is important. We're talking about simple past. The only thing that we saw was the ed in the verbs. Okay,
Yes.
that's it.
Mhm, mhm.
Nothing. Questions with affirmative?
No.
All right, I'm gonna go and do this before we. I just wanna focus on this part. we already saw this. Ticketing. Okay, so we saw. Okay, so remember that can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
So remember that affirmative is like this. ED, ED, no ing, no s, no. That was level 2. Level 3, ED. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Negative, the only difference is didn't or did not.
Okay.
But watch and play, they are simple form, okay?
Yes.
And what we saw in the question is that they switch. So I start with did, the subject, and then the verbs. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have questions with that?
No.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, teacher,
Yes.
el did se utiliza para todos los sujetos, ¿verdad?
Yes. Did is for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have like 2 minutes before this stops. If it stops, I'm going to send the other link, okay? I'm gonna speak Spanish. Si se para esto, les voy a mandar el otro link por WhatsApp, okay? Que es el que va a tener más tiempo.
Okay, teacher.
All right. So had, remember that we said it was possession, and it was like this in affirmative. Like I said, for example, here, I had a cat when I was a child. They had 2 beds in their bedroom. She had a Barbie doll when she was little. Okay, so it's the same for everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
What is the negative form of had?
Didn't have.
Didn't.
So if this is affirmative, the negative is I, you, we, they, he, she, it didn't have. Okay? I didn't have 2 bedrooms in my room. I did not have a cat when I was 6 years old. Questions with that?
No.
No question.
No?
No.
All right.
Teacher,
Yes.
cuando es el did, en pregunta, el did es, ¿cómo se dice? Singular y does en plural.
No. Did is for plural and singular.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Remember that in here it doesn't matter. It's in the past is the same for everybody.
Okay.
It's only did. Does is for present. Did is for the past.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, teacher. Yes. Gracias.
Yes, you're welcome. This one is not really... Okay. Abilities. Do you have questions with this, with the could?
No.
So, what is the could is past? What is the present form of could? Can, right? So if in the exam, let me show you this here. So if in your exam says, can you see the notepad, the block de notas?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Couldn't.
Okay. So imagine it says that I blank not can play basketball. What is the past of can?
Couldn't.
Couldn't.
Couldn't. Okay. So I couldn't.
Play basketball.
Couldn't play basketball.
Okay. What is the affirmative form of that sentence?
I could play basketball.
Could.
I could.
Could play basketball.
Okay. So if you see, I have negative, affirmative. Okay. The difference is
Okay.
this. What is the other form of couldn't?
Positive.
Interrogative.
Could you play basketball?
So it's affirmative, negative, but I can say couldn't. And what is the other form of couldn't?
Could not.
Could not.
Okay.
I could not.
Yeah. Could not play basketball. Okay.
Teacher, in question, I can call them or only affirmative?
Only
in the
affirmative.
question?
In the question,
Okay.
only affirmative.
Okay.
So for example, in this case, if this is affirmative, this one, and these are negative, what is the form of the question? How can you make the question?
Could I play basketball?
Could you play basketball?
Could I or could you? It depends on what you want to ask. So could you play basketball? Okay. Well, I'm going to erase this just for you not to get confused. So
Yes.
I have my question. Could you play basketball? I could play basketball, or I could not, or I couldn't play basketball, right?
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna refer to the PowerPoint presentation. Hold on a moment. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
I see. Yeah.
So in this case, this is important. Verb to be, I have was and were. I have two forms. But with could, I only have one. It's could. That's it. So for could, I can use all of these, okay? I, you, we, they, he, she, it could jump on my bed. I, you, we, they, he, she, it could run very fast, okay? I don't have like, could is for I, you, we, they, and can is for, no, it's good for everybody, all right?
Miss, con could se pueden utilizar todos los subjects.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In affirmative, in negative is the same, and in the question, the same thing. Interrogative is the same thing. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. What did
Same with have, no?
Yes, let me actually refer to that a little bit. And yes, so in first, if I refer to affirmative sentences, have is the same as you were saying. It's for all of the subjects. Okay?
Okay.
And had only changed in the negative
or question.
Or question.
Exactly. So if it's negative, the thing is that, for example, when you say didn't, it's negative. So it means that it did not occur. Okay, so I'm gonna just change a little in Spanish. Significa que no pasó. So had, it actually happened. So it's negative. In negative, I only have to use didn't and have, and that's it. Did not, have, but the same as you were saying, it's for all of the subjects.
The question only affirmative.
And question is only affirmative.
Okay.
So my question is, did all of the subjects, I don't change, and then have, and then the rest of the question. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so before we stop this session, because we only have 4 minutes, do you have any other question about grammar or vocabulary?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop here.